Ricky Hatton's staggering fortune and who is set to inherit what from boxer after death. Ricky Hatton will be laid to rest on Friday when his funeral takes place in Manchester, with reports indicating who will inherit his vast fortune following his sudden death. The boxing world will mourn once again as Ricky Hatton is laid to rest in his beloved Manchester on Friday. The private ceremony will take place almost exactly 1 month after the Pride of Hyde was found dead in his home at just 46 years old. Hatton's funeral will take place at Manchester Cathedral in an invite-only event for friends, family, and loved ones. However, it's expected the city streets will be littered with fans wishing to pay their tributes to one of Britain's greatest champions. And with such an untouchable legacy comes the rather morbid question of what will happen to Hatton's riches. The late great was at one point one of the biggest names in British sport, having won world titles at light welterweight and welterweight over the course of a glittering career. Hatton amassed a 43-0 undefeated record prior to facing Floyd Mayweather Jr. in 2007. It's estimated the hitman was paid around £5 million for his showdown against Money, though is believed to have made roughly double that for his defeat to Manny Pacquiao 2 years later. Those were merely the financial highlights from his 45-3 boxing career. However, merchandise, sponsors, and television appearances also contributed to Hatton's overall net worth, which was believed to sit at around £35 million at the time of his death. Read more. Ricky Hatton's funeral. Route coffin will take as his family confirms plan in full. IED more. Ricky Hatton's son couldn't ask for more as he responds to Oasis tribute at Wembley. And Mail Online has reported that massive sum is expected to be divided up between his children and the rest of his family. However, the exact split of his staggering riches remains unknown, though it's expected the greater portions of Hatton's wealth will go to his children. Hatton had one son, Campbell, as well as 2 daughters, Millie and Fawn. Campbell, 24, is the oldest of the trio and was conceived in 2001 with Ricky's ex-girlfriend, Claire Lord. Hatton later went on to have daughters Millie, 13, and Fawn, 12, with ex-fiancée Jennifer Dooley. At the time of Campbell's birth, Ricky set up a trust fund in his son's name to ensure he would always be looked after. His junior later followed in his father's footsteps to become a boxer, but retired from the sport in 2024 following the death of a close friend. Campbell has since made a significant career change and has worked as a solar panel installer. He posted a picture of him and his dad on Instagram this past Monday, which would have been Ricky's 47th birthday, and wrote, "Happy birthday. Wish we were spending it together." Hatton was also a grandfather after Campbell himself had a daughter, Lila, back in 2018. The hitman recently uploaded a picture of himself and his granddaughter as he dubbed himself Granddad Richard, and one would imagine Lila will also be entitled to a portion of her grandfather's inheritance. Despite never following through on his engagement to Dooley, Hatton was also very close with his daughters, who regularly featured on his social media. The trio were frequently seen holidaying and socializing together, including trips to one of Hatton's favorite vacation destinations in Tenerife. Friday's funeral procession will commemorate the life of a modern boxing great and gets underway in Hatton's home of Hyde. It will then make its way through the city to the Manchester Cathedral before reaching the Etihad Stadium, home of Manchester City couple die in scalding bath, leaving child and orphan just after their birthday. Louise Redknapp's son's true thoughts on Jamie's baby news as world turned upside down. Florian Wirtz's behaviour in training speaks volumes as Liverpool struggles continue. Arsenal news. Martin Odegaard injury timeline as Mikel Arteta disagreement emerges. Thomas Tuchel calls out silent England fans in awkward interview after Wales win.